Alright, hey guys. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you how to edit your photos in Lightroom 4 to get a kind of vintage, filmy look. They're kind of the kind of style you would get from that Viesco Cam app for the iPhone and Android. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is, so I got this image here to my friends a few weeks back at a party, two little photogenic buggers over here. So first things we gotta do, you gotta do your usual general retouching on the photo. If you want to do any of that, right now I'm just gonna fix this into a shot at 18 millimeters. So get rid of the distortion, and I think that's all I'm gonna do for this. Cause yeah. All right, guys. So first things first. So what we're gonna do is to get the vintage look. Really, there's two main factors. You need to get the split toning going, but we're not actually going to use the split toning module here. We're actually going to do everything in tone curve and clipping the shadows. So we're going to start off by clipping the shadows. Make sure you have your channel to RGB here and have it set on linear for the point curve. What you're going to do, you're going to add in two more custom points on this point curve. You're going to do it in these, like the top right box and the bottom left boxes here. Right at that intersect is where you're going to put your two here. So basically what we have control over now is we have blacks, shadows, highlights, and whites. So first thing we want to do is we want to clip these blacks down here. So you're going to grab this and you're just going to drag it up. And if you look at your histogram at the top, you can see the blacks get clipped as you do that. And so you're losing detail in the blacks the higher you move it up, but it gives it that kind of faded feel. So you can go as high as you want, but of course you're going to start getting into negative. If you do it straight across from that point there, this is kind of effect you're going to have. Once again, it's up to you how strong you want this effect to be. But for this photo, I'm just going to go about halfway here, clip the blacks a bit, and we're looking good. And then with the rest of these points here, you're just going to adjust to make the photo look as you want. Bring the shadows up a bit, or drop them. I'm going to bring them up a bit just to bring some of that detail back. And then on my highlights, yeah, I'm going to bring that up. Alright. After we've done that, we're going to go into our red channel. Now with these color channels here for the red, green, and blue, this is where we're going to control the toning in the image. So same thing, you're going to add in your 2 points at the same place you did for the RGB channel. And you're just going to start adjusting them to give them tints where you want. So in the blacks here, bring up, add some red or green. I think I'm going to drop it down this way. Bring that back down, get a bit more natural colors to the faces. Now when we do the coloring, I usually won't touch this point right here, strictly because that is usually where skin tones are going to be. So when you start messing with that, you're going to get some wonky skin tones, but you can still use it, just make sure everything stays natural. I'm actually going to use it right now to bring some of that red out of their face. There we go. Alright, so you start with the red channel, then you go to the blue channel. You skip green, and green's the last channel you'll adjust. So you're doing the same thing for all 3 channels here. Add in those 2 points and just adjust the tinting as you want. That's good. Move that up. Once again, maybe a tiny adjustment here. Or bring it down a bit, actually get some yellow into there. Give it kind of a more of that vintage feel. And now, green channel is the last channel you'll touch. I actually rarely ever go into the green channel. I'm usually satisfied after the red and blue. But I'm going to adjust the green channel again here today, just to get the full control over how this image will look. That was fine, actually, Control Z. Alright, so now that we got all that done, the next step is we want to mute the colors. Going off the idea that, you know, the vintage photos have faded colors, so we're going to go on the vibrance here, drop the vibrance down. Not too much for this particular image, and we're going to bring the saturation up a bit. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, so since I made these adjustments, the overall exposure has gone down a tad. So I'm going to bump the exposure here just so we have Sarah's face here lit up a bit more. There we go, Mike's still looking great. Okay, so after we've done that, you're going to go into your regular adjustments here in the basic module. So adjust the highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks as you wish. I'm actually liking how it looks right now. Usually I'll bring the shadows up a bit, just to get some detail back since we clipped all the blacks out, you know? And drop the blacks down for a little bit more contrast here. Clarity, I don't like to touch clarity, but I think I'm going to add a tiny bit here. Yeah, it's still good. And of course, we're going to get our detail going. Get the masking going here. There we go. That should be good. We're going to bring that up. Make the radius a bit bigger. Alright, good. Looking very detailed. Okay, so you also another option you have here with going for this film look. You could always add some film grain into it. Actually, I usually don't. A little bit is useful because it'll make the skin tones look a bit more natural, almost as if it has more detail. But yeah, just make sure you don't go overboard. Looks a little hideous when you start making it look like there's interference within a video relay. Today, I'm going to add a tiny bit, just that. Looks good. And of course, so you can go into your vignetting as well if you wish. I think I'm happy with the way this looks though, so I'm not going to add any vignetting because Mike here is pretty close to the edge of the image, so I don't want to lose any detail here by darkening it out. Of course, you could also go into the split toning if you really wish, for adjusting those colors in the image. I usually wouldn't, but it can add that little extra bit of oomph to it, you know? So we're going to drop the saturation, reset this, and then they're already looking pretty yellow in the highlights, so I'm not going to do anything there. Shadows are also pretty blue from the way I edited it, so I think I'm just going to leave it as is without any split toning there. I think this image is looking pretty good, so I'm going to add a bit of contrast. And alright guys, so this is our final product here. I'm going to show you the before and after. Alright, and then I'll put up the actual images before and after there. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. That's how you get the vintage film look to your photos using Lightroom 4 or any variants of the software.